Hi, and welcome to Traveling Inside Out. This is Alina, your host. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the podcast that explores the world within and out. And thank you for subscribing to Traveling Inside Out, whatever you listen to your podcast. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining, especially the ones that are watching afterwards. Today is a new day. We're gonna try a new tea. I want to get at it already. Number four. I know you cannot see it. I'm gonna. I think by the time I'm gonna try to do something with the tea with the camera because it's really poor quality, and I apologize for that. Um, I won't be here anymore, so I don't know how I'm gonna record the episodes when I'm not here. But there we go. Today we have Mandarin ginger green tea. Now, the problem yesterday was that it wasn't peppermint tea, it was peppermint flavor, which I don't even know what that means. So let's see, is today, yes, it's also mandarin and ginger flavor. I guess all of them are either black tea. Now that I look about, yeah, now that I look, all of them are black or green tea, and then they add some flavor to it. Yesterday was not a good one. So I'm just dropping it. So let's see how. Oh, okay. This one smells nicer. So let's see. Okay, there's a few things that I want to do today, so I'm gonna get at it. I brought back my sweet little penguin cup. Let me show it. Penguin cup. Okay, so first and foremost, I literally just remembered about the fact about the tea. And so I checked now. There's a whole story regarding Saijo. So if you are interested to learn about the monk from Heian period who founded the Tendai school of Buddhism in Japan, I'm sorry, I was not aware at all about his legacy. So there are quite a few stories, but for sure that was not 1800. That was a mistake because he was born in 766. So granted, there's no way that if he wasn't born in 766 that he did something in 1800 something. So yeah, that was a mistake. I don't know. It's just like that. So there is indeed a legend, and he passed away at the age of 56 and 822. So maybe it was in 802, not 1802, when he went to China, and then. But yeah, for whoever is interested, the legend is about the green tea, so he is part of the green tea legacy. Okay, I said I'm going to talk about the immigration, but before doing that, I just received my wrap for this podcast, and I rarely share it because it's kind of upsetting how few listeners I still have every year is going lower and lower. But for those who are still sticking, thank you. I appreciate you sticking around. So I said I'm not gonna watch it. So what I'm gonna do instead is to share it now live with whoever is watching this episode. So let's see. I have never done this before. So let's see if I'm gonna be able, because I don't have two screens. So I am very brave for doing this because I do not have two screens. Okay, check it out. It's gonna take a second. Always, it's gonna take a second. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna close this. So, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm gonna try the tea. Let's have a first sip. Maybe I should have pressed before. I'm sorry. I didn't know if I press if I'm gonna already see spoilers because I wanted to react to it live. But it looks like my one screen laptop MacBook that is since 2016, 2017. I don't think that is gonna make it. Anyway, oh, if it has some music, whatever. Okay, Traveling Inside Out rap season is here. I'm gonna read it for whoever fans were really loving your show in 2024. I love the the hyping me up situation, which I know that is not true. But also, statistics, unfortunately, on Spotify are not the best because I have at least half of the people who are listening to my podcast are not listening to it on Spotify. So those statistics don't quite work. You gained 11% followers. Have I? Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you. Um, okay. Can we move on from this page? No, I don't want to share this. Okay. Give it up for your new fans. 90% of your listeners, oh my God, discovered you this year. Oh wow. 90%. So your fans have a clear favorite. Your top episode was Only Murders in Brooklyn. Remember? About the actual true story about a person was found in someone's fridge, kind of in around my block, like around the block where I live. And as it turns out, the people who killed the person, yeah, it was insane. It was streamed 270% more than your average episode. What the heck? Ever wondered who your audience is? Okay, is this when you're telling me the countries? Let's break it down. Okay. Oh. Listeners by age. So between 18 and 24, I have 7%, 25 and 29, 14%, 30, 34, 23%, 35 and to 44, which is my age break, 36%, 45 to 54, 11%, over 55, 9%. I'm not surprised because my subjects could be listened by everybody. Listeners age 30 34 grew the most by 25%, but that can be also just two people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Where in the world have you been? Have I been? In 2024, your show traveled the globe. You were streamed in 19 countries. Romania was your top country. Thank you, my friends from Romania. Your youngest listeners are from Israel. Ooh, it's a bit of your oldest are from United Kingdom. I also think I know who my oldest would be from United Kingdom. Thank you, Paul. And your fans have great taste, obviously. Okay. Other than your show, they also loved shows like the Mel Ribbons podcast. I don't know this one. Oh, the Joe Rogan Experience. Guys, you can't be liking me that much and also like this one. I don't know. Feel Better, Live More with Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I never heard of him. The Diary of CEO with Stephen Bartlett. Also never heard of him. Cancelled with Mamma Mia. Music, Latin house, pop, reggae. Audiobook genres, romance, biography, and memoir, self-help. You know what? You know what? I'm not upset at this. I have read a lot of biography and memoirs this year. Oh, maybe I should make a list of all of the books, even though I haven't read I read quite a bit, but then I think I haven't read any books in the last month and a half or two. Um, so I'm a slow reader anyway, and I'm not reading. I'm listening on the podcast, and usually listening when I travel somewhere. So when I don't have a commute, I don't listen to the books. Listeners can keep their eyes off you. The videos were watched 17% more in 2024 than 2023 because didn't have so many videos. But then also, I didn't have so many videos in 2024, so whatever. I mean, they are trying to make it to make fetch happen. I know Spotify is changing and is trying to make more videos, and they're trying to kind of be more like YouTube. It's a whole thing. Shout out to your biggest fans for keeping you at the top of your game. Your top 10, you are a top 10. Top 10 in what, my friend? Show for 15 fans. Damn. Thank you guys. You're a top 5 show for 11 fans. Hmm. And you're the number one show for like two people. For four fans. Hello, four fans. Thank you. Maybe the four fans, if you're listening to this, maybe you can say hi. Now you can comment on Spotify. Um, and be like, hey, hi, I'm the one. Your top fan listens to you 5.8 times more than other listeners. That is cool. What kind of creator are you? What kind of creator are you? Is written in all different colors. So the explorer, the creator personality that I have is the explorer. Do I know what that means? Do I need to? We don't know what that means, right? Oh God. Okay, was that it? I'm the explorer. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you for giving people something to talk about. But it's not over yet. Keep the conversation going and share with your fans. I just did. Let's learn how to grow your showing. Okay, I just want to see if this was still something. And then I have to turn off this because my laptop is going crazy. The creator personality, the explorer. Was this anything else or is just a name for it? No, it's just a weird shapey thingy. That's it. Okay. So hello, hi back. Well, that was a bit entertaining. As I was saying, the four fans, thank you. Um, thank you for doing this, for making me your number one favorite fan, or whatever. I don't remember how to say that. Anyway, let's read the tea, and then in the last few minutes, I can tell you the last of the story in about immigration. When tea first arrived in England during the mid 17th century, it was an extremely expensive commodity and only the wealthy elite could afford it. Little teapots were made that could be carried around so that tea buyers could test the product before they bought it. So that's the fact that the tea was very expensive in England. Okay, so as I was saying last time, I was talking about my immigration story, and I said that I called all sort of numbers. I was trying to figure out. I also tried to contact some of the um, and there's something else that I haven't said, that trying to figure out the cruise and the proof that I was on the cruise and I came back and all that. I will mention this another time because there was a whole. I called other people and I called, like, one lawyer was telling me, no, you need to go back to Florida to get from the port that you've been there with that visa and so on. So I'm not gonna talk about this, but I do want to mention the fact that for a few weeks I was trying to figure out a way that I can have a proof that entering in the country was legal. And I called even the border control. I went to the airport, so it was like a whole thing. And basically, what happened was border control was like, "Yeah, USCIS should know that this is a closed circuit, so you don't get a stamp on your passport when you come from a short cruise that it's a closed circuit." While USCIS be like, I don't have no proof. So I just wanted to add this. But in all of this, like me calling a lot of people and trying to figure out what to do, I mentioned that I wrote on Reddit and people were shredding me to pieces for how many mistakes I made and how dare I, and look at me, and yet another lady that wants to cheat the system and blah blah blah. It was like that. However, somebody wrote to me on private chat, and they said, listen, there is this Telegram chat group that is made by a lawyer, and he's answering all sort of questions. Hi, my husband. I'm live now. Okay, bye. Um, so I was like, I don't even have Telegram. And the person was like, well, you need to download it. And I'm like, you know what? It's my future at stake. So I did that. I joined that Telegram group, and I wrote in the group. There was a lot of people who were writing in the group that they were talking about exactly about the visa that I never had. There, a lot of them, they were talking about visas that was for employment. So some of them were, for example, fired and they lost their visa, or like there was a lot of stuff. Everybody was writing and all that. And so then I write, and the lawyer answered, and he was like, I think he asked me a few questions, and then he was like, do you mind sending me an email, because I really want to look into this. So I was like, okay, okay. So I sent him an email, and I called his office, I think. I sent an email, and then I don't remember exactly the order, but the point is that I managed to get in touch with the lawyer, and he there was a bit of back and forth about asking more information, asking for the denial, to see the denial letter, to understand what my answer, like to see exactly what happened. And what's crazy is that he was saying that, yeah, that like he was finally, somebody was saying that it truly doesn't make sense, but I should not just reapply, because a lot of people were like, yeah, that makes no sense. And I'm like, right, I'm not crazy, it really makes no sense that they rejected my case and then denied my adjustment of visa. So what the guy said was that I would um sue them. It was costing $5,500. I'm just gonna put it out there. It was a lot of money. And should I remind you that last year there was a strike, so I didn't make too much money. The strike was for a few months, so that really hit in our budget. Give you know, but we decided to. I was so frustrated by the time it was already December. Around this time, I was talking, like last year around this time, I was talking with the lawyer and trying to figure it out. And then in the end, I said, okay, I want to fight this. So they said it's $5,500 to file for suing USCIS. But then if USCIS decides to go to trial, then that's going to be, I think, $4,000 more. But there can be part of the requirement that if we win, for them to pay the lawyer fees. So those $4,000 could have been out of their pocket, not out of my pocket. And I said, okay. I mean, I didn't say, I had to discuss with my husband and even his family and all that. And we decided we're going to fight this because it makes zero sense. So somewhere mid December, we have filed for to sue USCIS. And then I cannot tell you how I was glued to. There's a website where you can see the cases, but obviously you have to pay, and I didn't want to pay, but I was like refresh on that page to see the fact that my case was filed, who was my judge, who got to be the attorney for the other side. So I was watching it like crazy. You can imagine what holidays I had, because I was starting to be out of status. um, but they told me that if I'm out of, this is also something that it was so crazy, because I was told by some lawyer that if I'm going to be out of status, it's going to be huge problems. While this person said, because I was asking, okay, but if I sue and I'm then staying in United States, am I not going to get in trouble? Today's episode is going to be longer, I'm sorry. um am I not going to be in trouble? And he said that he truly checked, and since I'm married to a US citizen, and he does have the form proving that our relationship is real approved, so in no point, shape, or form the USCIS didn't think that uh, we are a legit couple. That's going to be forgiven. uh, because it's gonna be considered that I stayed, so I can be with my partner, basically, or something like that. It's not necessarily, I don't think that is necessarily the law, but everybody, like, after I checked a bit the internet, and people said that they were like years and years and years out of status, and that was forgiven, which I don't plan to ever be in, but we will see. So I kept refreshing the page, and I kept checking, and I kept checking, and the I was checking to see like how much time they have to answer, because the difference between refiling or filing a claim or things like that, they would have technically like 90 days or something like that, but um sometimes people were waiting for an answer, so they were out of status with an waiting for an answer for years. They kept postponing or whatever. So because of that, I was happy that I sued the USCIS, because I was like, okay, so they can't take years, because this is an actual lawsuit, so they have to answer like one way or another. So the answers that we will expect is either for them to be like, oh, sorry, my bad, um, my bad, whatever, we will just give the green card, or no, not my bad, this is still wrong, we're gonna go to to, like, we're okay, let's go to trial. So I kept waiting, and end of January, beginning of February, I received a letter in the mail with my green card. They never contacted, as far as I know, my lawyer. They never did anything other than probably be like, who was? No, we made no mistakes. There you go. Have your green card. So then we just dismissed the case, because I received the green card, which the green card, obviously, it's conditional green card, which means that next year, it's only for 2 years. So in 2 years, I have to apply again to remove the conditional. And obviously, I'm very nervous because of the new govern government and presidency and all that, and I will see how that's gonna work. But yes, this is what happened. I decided to fight because they were wrong. And for whoever didn't listen for yesterday, I will highly suggest for you to listen yesterday's episode, so you understand why do I say that they were wrong. um and yeah, so that's what happened. I have not sipped a roll. So this is kind of fake news, because I'll be saying that I'm sipping. Okay, this tea has a little bit of, and I left it in all this time, by the way. So previous times, because I was also thinking maybe, okay, maybe I need to let it sip for longer. Um, it has a little bit of a flavor, so I think I'm gonna give this a 3. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a 3, because it's giving me a little bit of a mandarin taste. I don't feel the ginger at all, and you would imagine that the ginger is more powerful. I'm curious to know if anybody else had immigration stories. This is my first time when I've. It's not my first time living in a foreign country, but it's my first time when I had to do this sort of immigration. Obviously, I haven't been married before. um, and the other residency, they were for short period of time. Like in Tunisia, I was there for um, 3 months, and then I stayed for 2 more months. So, and in Turkey, I was an exchange student, so I had to do my residency also for the semester that I was there. But there's always some stuff happening, and this is why when people are saying, oh, the paperwork and bureaucracy is horrible, I'm like, I lived in different countries, it's horrible everywhere. Sorry to let you know. Anyway, this was a 5 minutes extra. I hope you enjoyed the story or not, I don't know. Okay, let's have a few more sips. That being said, stay tuned for tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, so you will have to tune in and find out. See you tomorrow. Thank you again for those who are listening and watching this after after the video, after the after the live. See you tomorrow. This concludes today's episode. Thank you for listening and for reviewing Traveling Inside Out. If you want to get in touch with me, send an email to podcast@alinaigrad.com. And remember, your outer journey begins with inner work. Until next time, bye.